Imagine, it's the last couple weeks of Season 2. You drop at a low-key area in the map with your duo or squad, loot up, leave this piece of shit behind and travel to the circle. Every player is equally scared of each other, camping in bushes or even finding the legendary item, the bush. When you see a black knight, your hands immediately start sweating, and even though you died every game trying to get that first Victor Royale, you kept requeuing for hours on end because this was the new popular refreshing game that everyone was playing. At least that's how my experience was. I was a little late to Fortnite, but I'll get to that later. Fast forward from February to May, Dusty gets hit by a meteor. Your first game, you probably drop in with your fairly new John Wick skin, and you try and grab your first weapon that you see and survive long enough to grab a gravity crystal. From the orange shirt kid to newly unlockable styles to Tiltus miraculously surviving, you felt that Season 3 lasted such a long time. Getting something new in Fortnite was awesome, and the cycle began. Fast forward only one season ahead, and it comes the worst season to release in this game so far. While everyone was excited to see some new locations, new skins, and new weapons, there was one thing missing: double pump. From the first week of Season 5, I was immediately skeptical. I was never a fan of nerfing double pump as I felt it was a mistake, yet a blessing in disguise for players. But Epic did not feel that way. For some reason, they felt that they needed to reach an even bigger audience. The game started becoming more luck-based. Even after we dealt with Bloom and RNG, good players were not rewarded. Look at this gameplay of Season 4. The mechanics look wonky, but that was exactly how the game was meant to be. Now look at this gameplay of Season 5. In one season, not only did everything feel completely different, but also looked completely different. I felt that ever since Season 2, they were trying to make the game become what Season 4 was, and after that was over with, they went a different route. They introduced mobile, they introduced Fortnite for the Switch, they introduced the drum gun, and although not changing would of course ruin the game, as like any other game, it went too far. The first vehicle was introduced, the shopping cart was a flop, I think we can admit that. Golf cart / ATKs were all you heard for the first couple weeks of Season 5, and I believe that was Epic setting us up for what was to come in Season 7. I'm not really against planes because I think it is great for rotation. At first it was a little ridiculous, but after the countless nerfs, I believe it does have a place in the game for now. You may not agree with all of this, but I think we can all agree on one thing: Fortnite isn't the same anymore. And like I said, that's fine. I just believe Epic made a huge mistake adding the luck factor into it. Remember when kills felt rewarding? That wasn't because we were new players. That's because it at least took the smallest amount of skill to defeat your enemy. Now look at the game. 2 messy biomes, a giant hole in the map that has basically been untouched since Season 5, vaulting classic weapons such as the Bolt. But I'll give credit when it's due. From Kevin the Cube changing the horrendous location we call the lake, from buffing back the shotguns and somewhat listening to the community, those are the details that make this game not unplayable. Trust me, I regret a lot of things I've done in the past, and I believe one of those things is not playing Fortnite earlier. November 2017, everyone was playing it. Being the reluctant teenager I am, I have the unpopular opinion. I sat around playing old boring video games while everyone in the community was saying they were having so much fun. After much hesitation, my friend Frank persuaded me to at least download it. Although I was pessimistic as possible, after a couple of games, I was hooked, and I was afraid to admit that I had been wrong. I started playing around early 2018, right before Season 3. I didn't even really understand how the item shop worked until the Cuddle Team Leader came around for the second time on March 11, 2018, making that the first ever skin I purchased. Now looking at my locker, I've gone a long way, and I could have gone even longer way if I started earlier. Season 4 was around the time that rare skins were becoming the new hype. Recon Expert was finally recognized as the longest time period a cosmetic had not been in the item shop. We were seeing brand new storyline with a hero and a villain. We were introduced to sprays, and people have gotten a lot much better at building, which would later be wiped off the table when Playground came around, letting players build in 1v1 for hours with their friends. I know the most popular answer for people is Season 2 when asked what their favorite time period of Fortnite was. But compare the fact that now you could actually see things at nighttime, you knew how to coherently play the game, and you could turbo build. I believe that the best season was Season 4, and even if you disagree with that, I guarantee you that it is nothing above that, especially Season 5. Fast forward to the present, it is February 2019. Who would have thought that not only would the game last this long, but change so much, feeling almost as an entirely different game, and still keep millions of players online for the coming months. In about a week, Season 8 will start, and I have low expectations. Things I believe every actual good or decent player would like is to bring back the regular TAC SMG, bring back double pump, which is highly unlikely yet highly requested, get rid of planes, get rid of that shitty snow biome, bring factories back, and stop adding fucking explosives. Epic has a serious obsession with explosives. They went as far as to release an item basically trying to hide the fact that it was basically another fucking explosive. We noticed Epic, we're not stupid, and although that may be vaulted now, does it really matter? Who the fuck is gonna use a bottled rocket? I would rather use the semi-auto sniper. I would rather use the original SMG that did like 11 damage per shot. I would rather use my fucking pickaxe. I'm praying that Season 8 will bring a new and fun aspect to the game, because even though I like having unpopular opinions, this game is dying, and it is in the current state of being complete dog shit. Leave a comment telling me what you agree and disagree with, and let me know some suggestions you have for Epic. Thank you for watching.